Let's see, what session is this?
12, and I am
Numbers
counting
12.
correctly this time.
Okay, good man. He has learned the ways of counting since last time.
Actually, it was
Yes.
the last time was correct too. I basically had to get above the 10 fingers, and then I was fine.
Oh my.
Hmm. Well, that's a very unusual problem to have. Usually it goes the other way around.
Like plus
But,
one.
hmm. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So I'm we've got just I guess now one player that is on his way at some point, so we'll
At
go
some
on
point.
ahead without him. We can start with our recap as our new custom dictates.
And as is contractually obligated, uh, that is Avery's job.
Yes.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Indefinitely. That's
Mhm.
fine. That's fine. So, uh, in our last episode, we concluded a conversation that we were having uh, at the very beginning of the session, I believe, or maybe at the end of the last session with General Caldwell and Boris and Sketchy Liz, Tom, the whole party, of course, was all present. Uh, After that conversation, we decided that we would have a sidebar with Boris, which ended with Nero and Boris getting some closure to what I understand is a long-term relationship. Not really sure if I'm explaining that correctly or if I understood it correctly, but there was that. Afterwards, the party went for snacks before ultimately deciding that they would go back to the ship, where an attempt to have a conversation with Liz. I don't know if we actually had that conversation
No, we
or
didn't
not.
do a very good job of that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
we did a
deliberated a
terrible
little
job
bit
of that
and
actually.
then didn't actually have the conversation with
It
Liz.
was, yeah, entirely terrible actually.
There's my rough explanation of things. Feel free to color in any details, Ben.
Sounded like a pretty nice summary, hitting the highlights. No comment as to the successfulness or value of your conversation with Liz.
I think we weirded her out real good.
We were very successful at that.
We're very successful at weirding her out, pretty sure.
I feel like I remember she was saying she was gonna stay there and watch her, but she wasn't gonna go anywhere. But so it was just kind of
Mhm.
awkward, and we left. I mean,
And then we like very awkwardly invited her to see the inside of our ship, and then everybody was like, no, no, we do not want to do that. And then I was like, oh crap, well, I can't revoke it now. That would be even more awkward. Be like, oh wait, you're a teleporter. Psych. Just kidding.
but, she didn't want to go anyway. So
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
kind of like I
worked
feel
out.
like we gave off kind of the unmarked white van, like, "Hey, you wanna come see the puppy dog in my
Mhm.
car?" kind of vibe, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I'm not going in your white van with you, thank you." But no. Uh,
suspicious. Let's find
sus.
out.
Very suspicious, very sus. Would not recommend. Uh,
So yes, we left you on your ship. Uh, I believe we were going to most likely gloss over all the finer intricacies of rounding up the POWs and carting them back to Caldwell and company. But I guess I should make sure that there's not anything else you want to do on the ship while you're here.
I don't think so.
It is getting pretty late.
Did they already transfer over the hostages?
No, I believe that's what you
Oh,
were.
sorry, excuse me. Oh,
Bless you.
are you
Um,
laughing at me, Dex?
I am.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I real I tried to get over in time to, like, mute myself before that happened, and I did not make it.
It's okay if you'd
Sorry.
ever like to be laughed at again, just sneeze.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
mm,
Alright, sorry, go ahead, Ben.
yeah, so I believe that was the reason you all were visiting the ship was to round up the prisoners and bring them back.
We tried to make it a
Okay.
dual purpose. We just
Hmm.
didn't really do well at the second part of that purpose. Dual purpose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds about
okay.
right.
We'll try and get better at that next time.
I think, maybe it's not such a bad thing if our group is not good at being sketchy.
It's true. It's not so bad if we're just bad at being sketchy. Mm.
You got a happy dog stuck in.
Hannah was singing that all day today, so thanks. It's now stuck in mine again.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to help.
Here's
Pop
just
music. All right, so everyone is standing on the ship, staring at each other, not sure what to do next.
Oh, Saoirse went to her captain's quarters, aka her room she shares with Nero.
Were we planning on sleeping here, or have we finished with the prisoner transfer? Or are we still in the process of that?
I was giving you, I was allowing a moment to see if there was anything else you guys wanted to do on the ship. If you want to just go ahead and kind of
Oh,
skim over.
we'll show Java the ship.
Okay.
He'd be pretty stoked about that.
All right.
Yeah,
So
because he,
have we rounded up the prisoners? Like, are they all sitting together on the floor or something, or are we just like hanging out until they get there to pick them up?
you guys were gonna bring him back, so
Oh, okay. Cool.
we can leave them in there for now if there was other stuff you wanted to do first.
Well, Saoirse would be explaining to Java that right now we're looks
Hello? I think you cut off there.
I'm glad that wasn't me.
but Java
Uh,
looks at the
could you
Then
repeat that?
clock.
I think
Danielle,
we lost you.
And I sleep
we are not
over
able
here.
to.
We share like you
Hello?
can't hear me.
Now we can hear you. You were cutting in and out like for long stretches of time, so I'm
How
not
about
sure what
now?
happened.
Can you hear me now?
That's good.
Okay.
Is it?
It was. Are you trying to say something now?
That messed with Discord. So can you guys
Okay.
hear me now?
I can hear you now. You said something about messing with Discord, but some of that was lost too.
Oh, great. Okay. Um, I'll just make this quick. Saoirse would show Java around, and if anybody wanted to show him, like, here's where I've been sleeping, or here's where my hammock is, it's, whatever. We'll say it could be a group excursion to show him around. So I would love to hear the different commentaries on what the different crew members think is very important to show Java.
So whose hammock is this? Oh, let me fix the voice.
Oh no.
I was gonna say, it's been a very interesting contrast for me with Java's voice being so low, like, so deep, when he's, like, a very starry-eyed, like, happy-go-lucky kinda guy. What
Yeah.
happened to that bed, Ben?
What?
Here.
Let me, sorry, I just realized I actually hadn't signed in.
Uh-oh. Y'all see what I'm seeing?
Yeah,
Hmm.
like it got basically scraped off. Somebody took a belt
Oh,
Yeah.
sander to it.
that is very weird. I don't know what happened there.
Mm, interesting.
See what now?
Hey, it's up, Robert.
There's this this bed here. Robert, you're
Mm.
here!
Yes,
she
barely.
she
Dude.
realizes after she has answered his question.
Sorry,
Just
it took a minute.
slide into the
Ooh.
chat.
He's just so
All
seamless at it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It
So my
didn't
thing
feel.
was since sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the drive didn't feel so seamless, but thanks.
Oh. So
Whew.
what I was trying to say is that Java is with us to get the prisoners to help us transfer them.
Mhm.
Which Ben, is anybody coming out? Like, are they going to meet us at the exit of our ship to transfer this, or are we like supposed to take them inside?
No, you're taking them back through the teleporter to the base you were in.
I mean, I don't think you'd give Java like a tour, right? Like Liz is waiting outside for us. Like,
Okay,
if you did, it might be quick. I don't know.
all right.
We can do that later.
I don't know Cersei as a person. Like, maybe she is that person that would just like, nah, forget her, make her
I
wait.
don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's poll the crew. What would Saoirse do?
Oh no.
Would she be impatient, like, they're waiting for us outside, or would she be like, "Meh, forget that noise. Let's give Java a tour." I don't know.
um,
If you Yeah, I'm not sure, but we can definitely put it off for later, but I'm just thinking, like, as we're walking through the ship, because where do we enter and exit, right? It's over on the port side, right? Is this
Mhm.
where we're entering and exiting?
Yeah.
Oh, so as we're passing things, we can point stuff out to him. Do we still have the note on the door?
No, Cade would have taken that off once it was restored.
No, 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 not that note.
Not that note on that door. The
Which note?
privacy note
Not
on
that
the
the
cord,
privacy note. Kip
the
out.
one that Damsa had left.
Oh, we probably do.
It was on that little whiteboard or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep. So there's a note by that door that says, "Privy, kip out."
Nope.
What does it mean, guys? Java's
So she's
asking.
just gonna look at Narrow. I'm gonna assume if you use the voice, by the way, that is in character.
Oh, that is in character. What does it mean?
Nero
What
looks
does this
back
mean?
over at Java. It means keep out.
Oh,
Ladies' quarters, you know.
I can respect privacy.
Saoirse just like kind of snorts and doesn't make any other comment on that.
You should also respect
um.
cybernetic claws.
What now?
Anyway, moving on through here. we
Be
have
then.
the storage area where we store things, lots of different things. And then through this door,
And the hamster
and
wheel.
she's just gonna yeah, and that this is also where we try and keep Nero busy so she doesn't drive us all crazy.
Nero nods.
So the hamster wheel's for you.
Yes.
You okay?
It's not hamster sized when we use it, to be fair.
I mean, I can see that.
Oh, there's no actual
Saoirse's
hamster wheel anywhere.
No, there's no actual physical one there right now. We have it as a marker there, but Saoirse creates a force construct that's basically a giant person-sized hamster wheel for Nero to run in when we're in
Yeah,
space for long periods of time.
I don't think they've explained any. He doesn't know anything about her psychic stuff yet.
Yeah, I think that Saoirse was trying to not say anything about that psychic stuff until they were off
Hmm.
this section.
Yeah, so what would you say? Oh, the hamster wheel's somewhat else.
It's put away right now. It's just out for a bit.
Okay, makes sense. You wouldn't want that like blocking the hallway.
Yeah, yeah.
Are these your food?
I know through here. And she's gonna like show him to the little table.
Oh, this is a nice table.
It's a good table, yeah. And right through there,
It,
brother Nick can show you where the tea is some other time.
it
But
supports
through
my
here
weight.
is where the uh, please, I've told you, don't banjax the table. Just keep off.
It's
It's
30.
not meant to hold. It's not meant to hold you. It's meant to hold food. Anyway, that's conversation for basically every other time we're in here. But right now we're coming to get the prisoners. So let's get on to doing that. Brother Nick, can you lead the way? And Nero.
Yeah. Nero moves into the prisoners.
Is Java like does he look like a strong person?
Yeah, he looks pretty tough.
Okay. So Saoirse would ask him if he could help Nero and Brother Nick. How many of the how many of the prisoners do we have again? I'm trying to remember. Do we
We
have
have four
4 or is
left.
it 3?
Mm-hmm.
4
Just four.
left. Okay. All right.
Yeah, three of them are locked into little crew rooms, or just these narrow little situations with single beds
Mhm.
each. And one of them was
Mhm.
locked in a wash closet. Looks like some sort of bathroom space version.
Mhm.
I'll take the one in the first room.
All right, so you you can open the door, and the guy inside is wearing a what looks like some sort of navy uniform that looks pretty disheveled, and this guy looks quite the worse for wear. Kind of dark circles under his eyes and visibly tired, but stands up when you open the door. Looks confused for a moment, but then just sighs in resignation and holds his hands out, wrists together.
You know, I should have thought to ask this before I opened the door, but do we have any restraints?
Um,
We have me. And
You're right.
Nero,
We don't need them.
and Nero gives a look over at the guy, and then back at the crew, as if that's enough.
and I might be able to help out just a bit.
I'd
Okay.
probably
I don't.
pull my gun on him and just like, come on.
Yeah, he'll take just a half step back and put his hands up. Look, don't need that. I'm coming. Just
No, this is for me, not for you.
okay, whatever. And he didn't seem to know what to do with his hands, so he just kind of clasps them in front of himself and walks on past. And out in the hall, kind of looks both ways. Like, which way am I supposed to go?
Were we gonna escort all four of them at the same time?
I was going to ask if someone would be willing to just escort one at a time.
Hmm.
You know Java's down.
Huh?
You know Java is down.
Okay, cool.
We could.
So
Are you saying like one character to one?
out of the ship,
Oh.
like two people take one prisoner down to where Liz is and ask her to bring one other person for backup, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Uh.
So we pass off as a party of two to another party of two.
Or we could do like 3 down and 1 stays back with Liz. Or
Yeah, we could do that.
I imagine they probably have their own safety and security there. Liz knew what we were coming down to do, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, it it would be a little bit surprising if she didn't have some kind of security backup for herself. If she doesn't, then yeah. But otherwise, we will end up losing people one at a time to each prisoner as they get, you know, stuck walking back with Liz. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, though, this is just me arguing for efficiency, where I should step
Mm-hmm.
back because Nero doesn't care.
We can fast forward through stuff. I just want it to be a, how do I put this? I just wanted it to be something where we're not going to have shipped them all over space and then here at the end something bad happens because we weren't careful.
Yeah. No, Nero doesn't mind escorting this prisoner with Java over to Liz. Does Java really have a gun, uh, like unholstered?
oh yeah, unless somebody tells him not to.
Hmm.
He'd probably like stick it in his pocket, right? Like when he goes outside, he's not gonna just like leave that out. But like he's gonna make sure that this
There's
guy
the
knows not to mess around.
when Saoirse, when he walks back past her, she's just gonna say, "Hey, are you any good with that thing?"
I think so. But wait,
I think so.
She's gonna pinch the bridge of her nose and then she's gonna look at him like just without, like just really intensely look at him and say, "Great. Try not to blow any holes in my ship." and then she's just gonna like walk off to deal with the next prisoner.
Yes, ma'am.
She hears a muttered "your ship" as she walks away.
Did she hear that from the prisoner?
Yeah, that was
I'm
from the prisoner.
Yeah.
guessing.
It's like "your ship."
Yeah, I figured as much.
You don't get to say anymore. Go.
She's gonna snort when she hears the prisoner say that, and not even deign to give it a response, basically.
All right, bud, let's go this way. And I'm gonna motion towards the exit.
All right, he nods and goes along without causing any more trouble.
I guess this would be the fast 40 bit where we get him back to Liz, or attempt to.
Yeah, so are you guys wanting to? You said you're wanting to do them one at a time, escorted by Java.
And narrow too, right?
Uh huh. Yeah, Nero's
Okay.
with him.
Okay. Yeah, so the two of them can escort the one guy along, and
Yeah, Nero doesn't talk much as they're escorting him, unless Java is talking at her.
Do you really use a hamster wheel?
Yes.
That's sick.
It is. It's awesome.
I am so seriously concerned for the future with Java and Nero on the same ship.
You should try it. Just don't go too fast on your first try.
I'm pretty fast. I bet I could go really fast. You just wait. You'll see.
You think you can go faster than me?
Java looks over. Definitely.
Now,
Definitely. Oh
Nero
no.
is pretty short. She's standing at 5'4". She does look pretty fit though.
Look,
On
Java
a
thinks
side
he's
note,
got this.
I figured. I didn't think that changed anything. I just wanted to give you the image so that you know what he's saying definitely too.
You definitely put that
man,
skill point into confidence.
Mhm.
IRL, I stand real tall at 5'2". So thanks for that.
Mhm.
Where's my short girls gif when I need it?
Thanks.
Did we make it back to Liz?
You do make it back to Liz. The prisoner has not he's not rolled his eyes so far up in his head that he's done himself injury or anything, and also has not tried any funny
Pretty
business.
close.
So Liz,
Well,
we got a prisoner for you. First of many. Here he is. Do you have like security or something? Because I got more to bring you.
she looks around at the empty room and then kind of makes a gesture, indicating herself, like, you think I need backup to handle, one half-starved prisoner? She
No,
gives him a
I'm more
smirk.
worried about 2 and 3.
We just don't want you
"You-
getting hurt.
Well, thanks for that. Go on and bring me the others. I'll cart this one back. Get him somewhere cozy."
Now? We've got more to bring you.
She raises an eyebrow at him. I can move pretty quickly?
Yeah, Nero's
It's
already
been.
starting to move back.
Fair enough.
She looks at her at her wrist. It's been. Oh, I forgot already how many minutes, but don't worry, I'll be here. And she grabs the.
Wait. Is this the prisoner that's not tied up in any way?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my stars. This is such a bad idea.
I think you'll be fine.
So she grabs him by the collar and turns and kind of pushes him towards the other the adjacent room that has the teleporting pedestal or whatever it is. And she goes on after him through the door.
I think Nero already said it, but I guess Java would go back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nero's on her way back when well, ready to be on her way back. She probably sounds like she may have paused and waited for Java, as he was being extra cautious. But basically, once Nero said, "We're just, wanting to make sure you don't get hurt," and she said, "Okay, fine, I'm good," Nero was done.
Okay. So yeah, the two make the couple minutes walk back to the ship uneventfully.
Nero
That's
talks about
fun
the
down.
hamster wheel.
Oh, can we stop and look at the hamster wheel?
No, not yet. I
Okay.
have to ask Saoirse for it.
So should we? That's one down. Where's the next one?
Saoirse uh turns around. Oh, Nick, you got the next one ready?
Yeah, I think Nick would go and get old aggressive boy Rao.
Oh no, can we please make sure this guy's tied up? Please.
Do we have anything to tie him up?
The Nick
We
would know where
found
something's lying around.
like murderous drugs on this ship. Like surely there's something to tie him up.
Are there zip ties in the storage closet or anything like that, Ben?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I guess
Um,
that's close.
Brother Nick going through the ship's locker actually would have come across a few sets of zip tie equivalent handcuffs.
Oh, nice. Get a little restraint. Okay. Yeah, so he'll appear back with those, and I guess a stun baton he got from the armory,
Mm-hmm.
realizing most of his stuff is overkill for a prisoner moving.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nero's still decked out.
So he'd rap on Rao's door, say, "Come on, big boy, it's moving day."
Okay. Uh,
Is brother Nick taking
let's
this one
see.
with Java?
Yeah. So Brother Nick opens the door and he's sitting on the end foot of the bed, watching, and eyes the handcuffs warily.
Brother Nick will toss them to him and say, "You can put them on, or I can. But only in one of those options are you conscious."
All right. He holds him for a moment and glares at Brother Nick. So this is it, huh?
This is it.
He pauses a moment, looking at the handcuffs and then back at Brother Nick. He tenses up. And then he slips one wrist in, puts his hands around his back, behind his back, and in an apparently familiar motion, uh, twists, and Brother Nick hears the zipping of the cuffs as they tighten around him, and he turns to show Brother Nick, "You happy?"
I wouldn't say happy, but I am glad to see you're willing to play ball.
Yeah, well, can't go messing up my mug for the photo shoot. I'm sure I'll be enjoying soon. And he
Boy,
I did-
Nick, are you having an intervention? Are you getting him? She's gonna yell from down the hall.
He's coming along, and then yeah, brother Nick will take him and guide him along. Gets ready to escort him out with Nero.
all right.
There we'll go again.
Uh,
Saoirse will ask brother Nick on his way out to stay close to that one until he's in custody.
Yes, he'll nod, and as he's heading out the door.
Um,
And it's asks Nero as he's going along. He said, "That was quicker than I thought it would be. Where did Liz take y'all with the first guy?"
you didn't. I think one of us should go with her this time, though.
Yes, that'd probably be for the best. I want to make sure we get these guys
I'm just gonna assume this is
all the way secured.
I'm just gonna assume this is out of my earshot. I'm just gonna not
mm-hmm.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, it would be.
not have this conversation right now.
Yeah,
And I guess otherwise, Brother Nick would be good walking in silence until they get back to the teleporty room.
he has no final words of wisdom for the guy.
I guess we already had our come to Jesus talk, so
Yeah, true, fair.
he's either willing to be good or not.
I think he leans toward the not, but
Does seem that
Yeah,
way.
probably. oh,
yeah.
oh, angry sourpuss that he is.
I mean, it's not like we weren't, pointing guns at his face
Yeah,
and stuff.
yes, we did beat him up and lock him up in a room for a week or so. Maybe somewhat merited.
I don't know, guys. I think he should have been overjoyed at his circumstances.
Oh no, you didn't hear Ahmed
Yeah.
complaining this whole time.
Yeah,
Oh
he had
dear.
the he
His
had the sense
circumstances
to.
are that he's still alive.
Indeed.
He also hasn't
Oh,
exactly
boy.
been under lock and key as like the others, so that's another plus.
Yeah, but he was also more trustworthy than the others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't have to beat Ahmed with a stick like this fella.
All right, so as the trio of you escorting the prisoner arrive back to the little garage control room, and It's an adjacent teleporter room. He'll come to find Liz sitting in a chair again, uh, scrolling on her compad, and she looks up, stands up as you all enter.
Is the other prisoner still
All
with
right,
her?
number 2. No, he's not.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. This one's meaner. We should go with you. One of us should go with you.
He shrugs. All right, fair enough. If you insist, which will it be? She looks from one to the other of you.
Nero steps forward. Unless Brother Nick
Yeah.
wanted to go.
Yeah, Brother Nick would be torn, wanting to keep an eye on Liz, but he would trust Nero more for beating this guy up again if they had to.
Yeah.
So he'd pass off the fella. I think Rao. This one was Rao.
Nero will take his arm and escort him over with Liz.
Okay. So, she'll take the two of you into the teleporter room and get ready to repeat the usual procedure. And that leaves Java and Brother Nick to head back to the ship. So Liz makes the usual reminder to close your eyes, and so she tells you open them again.
Nero keeps her eyes open this time. He keeps her eyes on Rao.
Okay.
Would you say it's nice, Ethan? Physical save?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, physical save.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a fun physical save too.
I figured he wouldn't close his eyes.
Yeah, he glances around the room, notices Nero watching him, and he furrows his brows a bit and watches her back. Then, sometimes darting his view between her and the teleporter. He does watch, curious, as she puts her hand into the pedestal. And then, after a few moments, Nero feels the violent jolt again, and just the wave of nausea, the flicker of something difficult to process mentally. And when she, in the split second, once she's aware of the room normally again, she just sees the prisoner there doubled over, um, on his knees, and he's uh, he's dry heaving.
Nero
Oh my.
And
steps aside and you didn't close your eyes.
he's busy dry heaving.
Wow. Is this the first time Nero gets the last word in?
Yes.
Canon. Canon now.
Liz has also stepped back and shakes her head. Some people just don't know how to listen. It's really not
Oh
that
no.
hard.
Did the other
And
prisoner close their eyes?
she gives Nero a level look. What do you think?
Nero, Nero looks at her. No?
No. These it shouldn't surprise me anymore. Most people don't really believe me the first time I say it, or maybe they don't trust me. I don't know. Others have said they had the same problem even with their own people. What are you gonna do?
Wait, who said they had the same problem with their own people?
She said the others.
Hmm.
Mm.
Meaning the Uralans, I think. Nero does give her kind of a quizzical look at that. She's not quite following that, but she still turns her attention to back to Dry Heave Boy. Um,
Yeah, and she'll continue on. Yeah, sometimes they make it through just fine. Sometimes it just, well, it undoes them for a few minutes, and their body will rebel in various ways. We just kind of have to wait it out and pick up what's left of him and get him along onto his cell. They have some of those here, you know. It's not like we're putting him up in the same quarters as everyone else.
Nero looks at her again with that same quizzical look.
She notices this time and tilts her head a little bit. You all there? Did you open your eyes too?
I kept my eyes open so I could watch him.
Well, she just throws her hands up. I don't know why I even bother sometimes.
This one was
She.
the worst.
Yeah, well, maybe you can imagine there's a reason why I tell people they should close their eyes for that.
No, I mean him. He was the worst.
Ah, she looks over at him. Well, I guess, fair is fair then. Maybe this will mellow him out a little bit, at least for the walk to the cells. And at this point, he seems to be subsiding and just he's laying on his side on the floor, breathing heavily, his eyes kind of
Oh
wide.
dear. Oof.
Can we move him? Is he gonna die?
Oh no, he's fine. Uh, we can move him. She looks him over again. Yeah, he's ready. And so she'll motion to Nero that she should get the his other arm, and she'll go over and
Yeah.
uh, in tandem with Nero, heave him up onto his knees and then lift him up to his slightly unsteady feet.
Not so
And,
sure he wants any more heaving, but
uh,
okay.
and Nero notices as she's doing some of this that she feels a little off, but not so much that she can't help do this and move normally.
hmm
But yeah, she gets the sudden sure feeling that keeping her eyes open wasn't a good idea, even though it she didn't react like he did, but didn't do well with her. So she can do with that what she will.
I think this is the second time she's experienced that. So since she didn't close her eyes the first time either. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
oh
think.
wait, no, I'm being dumb. I remember thinking about that the first time you said that she told us to close our eyes, and thinking, well, that's just how teleporting works according to Nero because of Damza. So yeah, no, this is the first time.
Oh, did you see retcon? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Well,
I didn't actually say anything about it the first time because I didn't know it was like any actual mechanics
right.
to it.
I guess I I guess I heard some of the conversation and missed the conclusion because I thought you had decided, oh yeah, she would have kept her eyes open, but it sounds like you finished the thought and got to no, she actually would have gone ahead.
Kind of the other way
So,
around. This is really out in the weeds, but the first time she said "close your eyes" was when I
mm-hmm.
thought, "Oh yeah, this is normal for narrow dams." And then the second time
Mm.
when we came back, I had forgotten my previous insight,
Oh, okay, I got you.
and
Well,
that's when
sorry
I
for taking us into
inadvertently
the weeds.
retconned, and now I'm re-retconning. Recon?
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying, and sorry to have dragged us all through a couple minutes of more weeds. All right. So yeah. So that's good to know. So that's just her first time keeping her
Mhm.
eyes open during that. Okay.
Yeah, no, she's feeling it, but she's not inclined to necessarily show it, or as much as
Hmm.
she can avoid it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess that'll be. Well, yeah. Obviously, she would have recognized that all that stuff that happened. She's never noticed that happening any of the other times she has teleported when she closed her eyes. So, um, but anyway, she'll follow along as Liz guides them uh, out down the halls and to a different area next to one of the blocks of barracks quarters, and through a small apparent guard room and into a little grouping of doorways that uh, have these little cell door type deals going on with uh, viewing panes and are apparently reinforced. And she unlocks one of the closest ones and pushes him on in and then closes it behind him. Turns to Nero and says, well, that's all there is for that. Let's head on back. Should be able to get there just in time to meet our next one.
Just two more. The other two are.
Ah, okay. Good. 'Cause I'm about ready for bed. And so she'll take you back, and as she puts her hand in to the pedestal, and she'll pause and look at Nero.
Nah, her eyes are closed this time.
Okay, her eyes are closed. Uh, Nero hears her start to say something, and then she just cuts off before she even forms anything coherent. All right, here we go. And then she says, "You can open your eyes now." Uh, then
This didn't feel like anything. Why is it different?
she looks at Nero with a small, amused smile. Well, because you closed your eyes, of course.
My eyes don't make my stomach hurt.
Oh my stars.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
You know a lot about eyes and stomachs, I suppose.
I know how to see and eat. I know what makes my stomach hurt.
She chuckles. Well, I'm sure that knowledge will help you immensely when figuring out the more nuanced workings of teleportation.
The what?
Teleportation? She slows it down. Have you heard that before?
Yes. What?
Okay.
Okay. Never done.
She 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 has a slightly larger bemused smile on her face.
Oh my
Okay.
stars.
All right. Uh, very well then. She kind of looks ostentatiously to the door. Are we ready to go out now?
Yes.
And she nods. Okay, let's go on out then. And she goes over and opens the door for Nero.
Nero looks over at her like an adult who realizes that they're being treated like a child.
Yes, I heard the mom voice.
um,
It's just that tone.
mhm.
Yup.
I I am very pleased that that came across. um, and
Oh dear.
she gives the small kind of ushering motion with one hand, and
And Nero walks out. She's got nothing more to say here.
so uh, meanwhile, back on the ship, um, Brother Nick and Java had arrived back, and presumably we're going to take the next prisoner.
Yeah. Nice. We'll go down the list. This one's the lady whose
Okay.
name is escaping me. I don't remember.
Yeah, Saida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Iris.
Yeah, and she's very amenable to whatever you tell her to do.
Yeah. Didn't even tied up.
And she's very subdued.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just lead her out. Yeah, the same thing. Just going along with Java.
Jabba, you say?
Oh dear.
Wasn't he doing the ferrying?
Yeah, I think
No, it just sounded
Robert's
like you said Jabba, like the hut.
Yes.
Oh, no. That's
suddenly
right.
Brother Nick had different plans for the prisoners.
We recruited the huts.
So the the two of you would arrive back in the garage and have to wait about a minute or two, and then you hear some muffled voices on the other side of the door, and then it opens to admit Nero and then Liz into the room.
I say, look, they made it back in plenty of time. Quit you worrying.
Who was worrying? Or is she directing this at Brother Nick or Java?
She was saying that to Java.
Mm.
No, we can't hear you, Avery.
Uh-oh. That is indeed
Vader voice failed him.
the voice modulator strikes again.
How about now?
There you are.
Yep.
Yes.
And
So, yeah, I guess. Saoirse had asked or said something to Java. Did you want to repeat that? Danielle?
No, we can't
Uh-oh.
hear her.
If you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Discord problems.
Hooray!
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she knows that we can't hear her.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Now we
Hello?
can hear you, yeah.
No.
Sorry, my phone screen locked again.
Robert, with more of his very helpful commentary.
I'm so tempted every time somebody says that to just be like, no, sorry, man, I can't hear you. And just keep responding until somebody realizes, wait a minute. It's a real fight to not do it on conference calls, I tell you.
Oh man, yeah. When somebody shares the screen and says, "Can you see my screen?" Nope, can't see anything.
Maybe if you try clicking that thing down there. Like, yes, I try not to be that troll because I very much want to be that troll.
Mhm. Yeah. Speaking of which, where is Cade during all of this? Has he just kind of been in the background letting
He's
everybody else?
watching.
Okay.
Yeah, he's watching. Like, he's standing around.
Okay.
Like, not much else to do, so he's just kind of watching.
Mhm.
Like, meh, whatever.
Yeah. And he's had Ahmed kind of as his shadow, while Victor and Tom are um
That does make sense. Since, Java doesn't realize probably, but, since Cade is a countryman, so.
mhm. Wait. So what about a
How is
countryman?
that dynamic, by the way?
Well, Ahmed is technically,
Oh, yes.
Tabukan. Cade is Tabukan.
No,
That's all.
yeah. I'm saying like, but what's
His
that
country.
like
Okay.
between the two of them?
I mean, Cade probably just kind of keeps it casual. Like, he's not that snooty most of the time, so he's probably like
Only with Saoirse.
watching everybody and then eventually kind of, well, yeah, only with Saoirse, but like
I feel so
probably gets to the
special.
point where he's like, you want to go get more coffee and food? And like just wanders off towards the cafeteria without waiting for a real answer.
Mhm. And yeah, Ahmed would would follow along. Um,
Yeah, not really his forte.
yeah. Well, so I guess so. It's Saoirse, Brother Nick, and Java delivered the third of the fourth prisoners. Or were they bringing the last two, the three of them, or were they just bringing the last or the third one?
Yeah, just the third one.
Okay, okay. So they brought her and wait for a couple minutes before Nero and Liz returned. Um, and Liz is just she's looking the prisoner over, and uh, it waits for someone to pass her off or say something. Do you guys want
Okay.
to keep doing each one of these, or
I guess
Um,
we can, yeah, kind of move through. I'm good
yeah,
with
I'm fine
that.
with skip.
There's not
okay?
any big revelations.
It seemed valuable enough to like run two of them, get a little conversation between Java and Nero, and then a little conversation between Liz and Nero.
Mm-hmm.
So we're running
Yeah,
two.
and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to try to rush you guys or anything. I just want to make sure I'm not dragging it out more than you want to
Yeah, I
do.
think we can skip the rest unless somebody has a scene they really want to do.
And I feel like we've had pretty good interactions and we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we had Cade going off to the cafeteria with Ahmed. Um,
Yeah, I was thinking that Kate would probably want to talk to Ahmed for a moment and reassure him that the Uralans will actually take good care of him because he seemed a little bit
Oh, I thought we were keeping Ahmed. Like not keeping, but keeping him from the Uralans.
oh, I thought they were helping him reconnect with his family.
Oh, I may have missed something.
I mean that or I missed something. Um
Ethan, you're the one that's been drawing
back
up all these plans.
Uh, I thought we were giving Ahmed over to the Rollins with the rest of them.
Okay.
I will say that as you were leaving Tabuk, Cade had called in. He'd actually called his dad
Yep.
for the first time
Yeah,
in
he did.
a considerable while, and called in a family favor on behalf of Ahmed and Ahmed's family. And you got a brief confirmation before you jumped out of the system that uh, that Cade's father had been able to get in touch with and extract Ahmed's family, keep them somewhere that Sons of Glory wouldn't be able to find them.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
so maybe then he would also I had forgotten about that little side tidbit, so maybe um Cade would give Ahmed a number and say, you can use this to contact my family or your family when um the Uralans arrange for an exchange or figure out a way to get you in a place that you can reunite with them safely. Um,
so
my
he,
father is good to his word, and they're safe.
so that just to set it the scene slightly, I guess they're sitting at a table, maybe at the cafeteria, and um, Ahmed looks at what Kate handed him, and
It's actually going to be a scrap of paper. It won't be digital.
okay, nice, um, and he's gonna look a little confused. Hold on a sec. Avery, are you trying to say something?
No, I was just testing
Oh,
mic.
okay. Fair enough. Um, so Ahmed would say to Cade, "You said until the Uralans arrange. Uh, I guess I had hoped that I would be staying with you until I could be returned to Dubuque, but I am to be given over to the Uralans for now."
My heart.
Well, would you rather come with us into more danger? I cannot guarantee your safety. Or would you rather have the opportunity to perhaps return to your family sooner?
Hmm. He hesitates. I don't know. How sure are you
Well,
that these Uralans will do what you think and arrange to have me returned safely?
well, I believe that they will have you returned safely because they did not attempt to leverage myself or my status. I did what I chose to do freely, and he'll. I don't remember if he used his the tattoo that signifies him as nobility on Ahmed or not. I don't remember that he did.
He had not shown it to him, no.
Yeah, so then he'll um briefly flash, and it's essentially a cheek tattoo that is almost impossible to forge and glows, and so it'll glow, showing that he is nobility. And he'll look at Ahmed and say, "That's the favor I called in. I had my father ensure that your family was safe."
His eyes are wide, and he quickly mutters out, Stara, I did not know. I am humbled that you would use your power like that for me, someone you didn't even know. I'll accept your word that this will be done. Just know that the Sons of Glory are going to need they're going to need to be stamped out more firmly than they have already. I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but I just worry for myself, for my future, and for my family that they might be able to find us.
I
But
understand.
but he shakes his head, kind of like trying to clear it. But of course, you've already done much for me, and I wouldn't know how to thank you. But if you ever need anything that I can do, um, well, guess you'll know where to find me.
For now, sure. But if you need us or if we need you, I'm sure Caldwell or Boris would be happy to connect all of us again.
He seems to steel himself to that idea and nods along. Yes,
And we're
I
not going to give up on the Sons of Glory either. And I don't think I need to persuade you of that.
know you. You fought quite zealously against them. Uh, and I'm glad to think of myself as separate from them. I don't know what would have become of me if I'd stayed in that place much longer. Things they tell you and the way they make you feel, the powerful thing. It's- I don't. I hate to think about it. Then he looks back up into Cade's eyes and says, "I can tell Nero and the others farewell first, right? This isn't
Of course.
okay. He he kind of lets out a relieved breath. I was,
I'm not sending you away.
This was your final coffee.
yeah, he he definitely gives off the vibe like he thought this was his like
I'm not that cruel.
this was the talk. um,
I simply wanted to have the talk privately for now with a new crew member who doesn't necessarily know that I am Tabukin. Who knows how the conversation will go? And Cade will have a sort of rueful smile with that.
well, I can't argue with that. He seems a little bit lost in thought.
We'll be in touch, my friend. No worries. And I'm not
Yes,
leaving you yet.
yes, of course. And then he, I guess, as you finish whatever snack or kind of not quite midnight snack, but late night snack that you were enjoying, he
Yep.
does look eager to go and meet the rest of the group. Well, looks like we've got some chatter about. Yeah,
And
An
it's
out of
all been
character
undone.
planning.
exactly what Dex just said. Yeah, exactly. Looks like they've been frantically working to undermine your
I mean, I
So
tried
rude.
tagging
heartfelt sentiment.
Robert, like, during that scene. I was like, "Robert, like, let's read this."
It's okay, but I mean, hey, Cade was busy having a serious conversation with him. He he
I mean, we
may
could
have
potentially hire him on as a replacement for Bruce or get a third ship and have a mini fleet of our own, you know?
yeah, man. Next thing you guys
Yep.
know is you just need a fleet carrier.
It's coming, Ben. It's coming. I have no idea how we'll afford that sucker, but it's coming.
I said
It'll be
anything about
Admiral
affording.
Saoirse before you know it.
That's the
Oh,
point of
dear.
stealing.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
Yeah, but then we have to steal all the money to maintain it.
I mean, we were gonna do that
Mm.
anyway.
Oh, my stars.
We've come by most of our money mostly on. Okay, never mind.
You know what? Just I'm gonna stop you there.
was gonna say
Uh,
Nero doesn't. She hasn't read the spec sheet on Prudence and the value of that ship.
No.
Hmm.
She absolutely hasn't. Nara does not do the finances.
All right, so let's see. We've got uh, all the prisoners handed off, and we've had some more conversation with Liz, and now with Ahmed. What would you all like to do next?
Well, we've got a couple of people that Ethan wanted us talking to. Gafari, Fancy Bear,
Yeah,
Vithox.
I guess that was just kind of montage, check in on them, make sure they're not dead.
Okay. And so, as far as avenues of finding out about them, I guess we're including asking around of the resistance. the to see what they know. Is there anything else that Brother Nick would want to try doing?
Pretty sure they would be resistance, personally.
Yeah, these guys who we knew probably had better odds than not of being in the resistance. I figured Boris would be his first stop
Okay.
since I, he'd know all these people, and I think Brother Nick would expect a certain amount of discretion from Boris. And then, yeah, if he's needing to cast a broader net of asking around the resistance folks, would we
Mhm.
want to risk sending out any kind of encrypted message or any previous lines of communication with these guys?
I can head you off there and just say that that would be well, Brother Nick would be informed that that's a no-go.
No from their secret base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so he'd content himself with, I guess, asking what he can around the base.
Okay. Yeah, so Brother Nick starts putting out feelers and also um, at some point probably ends up putting a couple questions to Boris himself and but looking for some information about people that you wouldn't expect Boris to necessarily know anything specific about. And what he's able to determine, uh, I don't believe we'd ever named his priestess friend,
Yeah,
uh, but uh, she, as far as people he talks to know, is uh, was last seen still serving at the temple in Asensio, though under Tabucan control, the the temples have not been operating quite in their usual function. They've been a bit more restricted. Uh, there's been some hustle and bustle of Tabucan investigators or scientists or who knows who. Or there rumors abound, but people being at the temples. But yeah, she was last seen there.
what did you say her name was again?
Let's see. Let's go ahead and cook one up for her because I don't think we ever had done so before. Janet.
Good work.
Good Janet.
Oh dear.
Mm, Janet
Much better
Baker.
than a Karen.
Much better than the
Mhm.
Karen.
Especially since she's a love interest. I mean, come on, man.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Let's see, I'm putting this in the session chat there.
Janet Baker of all the names.
Well, apologies that my name doesn't satisfy you. What would you rather it be?
You're fine.
I could use that NPC roller. Did you have a culture in mind for Urala?
So far on Urala, I had mostly been using English names.
Let's go for it. Okay, so English,
If you like a
female.
different name, that's what I'd do. I'd make
Blanche
Ethan
Young.
Blanche Young.
Harriet Thomas.
Oh,
Is she
yes,
Barbara?
Harriet Thomas. That's the best.
Okay, we're going with
Yep.
Okay. By Ethan's assent, going along with the party's input, she is hereby renamed Harriet Thomas. I'm sure she won't mind.
I'm probably happy she has
She
a
had a
name
choice.
now after months of being unnamed priestess.
Yeah, she hears the news that she's been named. She's like, "Oh, thank goodness."
Yeah.
I'm a named NPC. I'm safer now.
I wouldn't say that. Don't breathe a sigh of relief yet. Named NPCs either move on or die.
Okay, she
Or
doesn't
get
have to know that.
forcibly adopted.
Or get forcibly adopted. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, having a name in this universe is dangerous.
Oh boy.
Oh man, that's actually a funny. Well, I won't get down that rabbit hole. So anyway,
He says.
let's see. So we have okay, back to montage of information gathering. So yes, uh, she is still in Asensio as far as people know. Um, Ginger Shots, the artist from whom you bought uh, a
Literally
majority
all
of
of her
your
stuff.
yeah, or you did buy her out.
Yeah.
Um,
She was like on cloud 9.
mhm. Yeah, from the couple people who seem to have heard about her, uh, she had taken a break from doing art and was doing who knows what. Um, she she had maybe moved away from the capital, and nobody's heard anything about her since then. That was um, shortly before the invasion. She hasn't been continuing her artistry work as far as anybody knows. Oh,
Do you think we could conscript her to paint our ship at some point?
We can chase her down. Sounds like she took her newly acquired nest egg and ran. Got what we're
May
getting was good.
yeah, may have turned out to be pretty fortuitous timing for her. Kind of blend into the background about the time that everything goes down. Um, Fancy Bear. He- Nobody here uh has heard that name. Um, though when you mention that to Boris, he gets gets a curious look and says, "You were running in some interesting circles since we parted." Uh,
Saoirse like look over at Cade when he says that.
Wait, so did he recognize the name then?
hmm,
Or
he did.
okay.
It'll
Uh,
wiggle his eyebrows at Saoirse.
She'll roll her eyes.
um, and Boris would say, "Well, I don't know what you need out of him, but I haven't heard from him since Tabuk showed up. I don't think he was quite endowed with a nationalistic enough streak to stick his neck out for anybody in particular. So my guess is he's lying low. But he lowers his voice a little bit, checking again to make sure no one's around. You do realize, well, I'm sure you do. Just don't let on to Caldwell what all you know questionably legal activities you've gotten up to. Don't want to make it any harder on him to clean that slate."
Dear Boris, I'm not sure what you think is illegal about selling artwork. And Kid will just like look completely innocent.
You're really good at that clutching pearls look.
Helps me handle all those arguments with you, boss.
Oh, and I guess Gafari would be our last dude.
Yeah, and that for that you would get you'd have to get from Boris as well, and he would say, "No, that's another name you need to be careful with." They decided that best thing for him would be to dump him in a cell and let Tabuk find him when they showed up.
Yikes.
Keep with his well, keep with the original story. Let him try to well, take back his former life.
So we won't be using that alias anymore.
Well, I don't know about aliases.
If
Uh,
anybody asks, we've become independent contractors. She's looking
Yeah,
around
I guess we
at
need
the
to
rest
see
of
how
everyone.
well his
So-
cover story held up. I've been thinking we probably can spin ourselves out from under Gafari at this point. We're either recognizable enough as free traders or recognizable enough as devious military base destroying terrorists.
um,
Cade will cough into his fist.
I'm gonna say Boris would give a strange look at to Saoirse when she says that. Now, I think he and Caldwell are still on good terms. That's just going to be a bit of a complicated transition to navigate. But I mean, the plan is for him to have signed over the lease on that little shuttle, whatever it was that they loaned to you. That still should be part of the plan. I wouldn't cut contact with him entirely. It's just might be a little difficult to explain why he was carted along with the resistance. If they found him in one of those stings, much easier to explain if he's just been sitting in a you're all in prison like any old ex-Dodger might be.
Oh, that's fair.
So yeah, that's all he would have to say about Fari. I think that's everybody you'd been wanting to ask about,
Yeah.
unless you've thought of anything else. All right.
I don't think any extra guys. Are y'all there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Did you say
No.
something?
It went all silent, and I wasn't sure if I just lost connection or if everybody was thinking.
I want to take this moment to point out the sheer maybe irony, but just the sheer moment of Ethan being the one to ask, "Are we all here?"
Mm,
Oh my. All right. So, do we need to talk to
about his
Caldwell
flavor.
and Boris about their plan? Like, are they planning to leave or not?
We should get a handle on that, yeah.
Probably. Are we saying now? Because it is kind of. I guess it was late when we were moving the prisoners, and now we've gone even later.
Yeah, I mean, we can probably put it off to another day, but as far as game time goes, yeah, as
Yeah,
players, we should get that info.
yeah. In real or in game time, I should say, the Caldwell had basically given you the end of that meeting had basically been a, you know, let me talk to me tomorrow and we'll see what, see what we say then. Um, handle some of these other things and rest, and then we'll meet again.
Hmm.
So, is the crew ready to? That they've been offered accommodations in some of these barracks rooms. Is there anything else they wanted to do around the base before then?
Uh, are we gonna give the other thing is are we gonna give Java that tour?
I mean, so at this point,
I think you cut off
We
at the
can put it
beginning.
off.
Okay. I did miss the first thing that Avery said.
I was asking if we're back in the base at this point, right? Like we'd have to get Liz or someone else to like teleport us back.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Yes, that's
right. Okay.
correct. Yeah, the tour can always wait until you guys are actually leaving. And Danielle, I don't know if you hear, but
Yeah.
there's stirring in the room.
Oh, I didn't hear that. No.
Okay. It bears looking into. Um, as far as ooh, I'm actually I'm needing a water break, so if we can take 5, I'll be right back.
There's a gif
Eh.
of rice cake tasting.
Apparently.
There's a gif of everything, man.
I got him, man.
Real talk though, rice cakes are pretty good. You ever had the chocolate ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are
Those quick
not
release.
like their brethren.
The
The
chocolate
apple
ones
ones
are
are
the
pretty
the
good.
least offensive.
There's the caramel ones too.
I don't believe anything you say. I can't trust anything else you say about food and flavor ever after having suggested that any variety of rice cakes are good.
I mean, like,
Wow.
if you're trying to like eat consciously, right?
All right, when you
That's-
start putting conditions on it and criteria, then
Oh no.
It's a pretty good little snack with like no repercussions. You want a sweet thing, but you don't want to like have to worry about it. Chocolate rice cake. You can eat as many as you want. They're like 5 calories.
Very true.
those things are
For
just
the
solidifying in your gut, waiting for the day when they can give you a literal iron gut.
They're literally fiber. They do the opposite of that.
No, not rice cakes. They're smarter than that. They collect, they line your gut. They are just sitting there waiting. They're gonna package up all of your gut biome and flush it all out, and then you're gonna die.
And I'm trusting you less and less about food the more you talk. So
Fair.
It's
Oh
gonna
my
eject your
stars.
gut biome like it's the warp core on the Enterprise.
Ah.
I'll freely admit you shouldn't trust me about food. I
feel like Taco Bell might do that to you.
I can one up
That
that.
is the description. That is definitely the description of Taco Bell.
I don't trust any of you people.
I
Taco
fail
Bell is
at
life.
cooking eggs.
Wait, Taco Bell is life, but you're talking about eating rice cakes to eat consciously?
No, like
How
you gotta
does
make
this
an
make
exception.
sense?
You gotta
Yeah,
make an
you eat
exception.
consciously after Taco Bell destroyed your gut biome.
That's true.
I
Wow.
was an adventurer once, and then I took a Taco Bell to the gut biome.
I will say that Taco Bell's less harsh on me than certain other places.
You're like a crocodile that's eaten a corpse that's been floating in the river for a couple days. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
But somebody put
Wow.
sour cream on that crocodile.
Oh my
I
stars.
couldn't not eat it.
Why don't
Oh
you
my
ask
word.
Google what the healthiest fast food is? See what
It
it
was
says.
a 5-layer beefy antelope floating.
Hey,
It's
those
the Gordita Crunch Zebra. It just gets you every time.
those 5-layer burritos are the only good burritos at Taco Bell until they bring back the chili cheese burrito.
Mm,
Hey, Cerrito?
The quesarito's closer. The thing is, I don't actually like things that are carby. Not specifically because of the carbs, although also that, but just things that are carby don't tend to be a good flavor for me. And burritos have so much of that plain, bland, boring tortilla that no matter how much sauce I soak it in or it's covered in, I'm still stuck chewing tortilla at the end of the bite.
See, but that sounds like a you problem and not the burrito problem. You need to get more efficient
I
with
chew
your
I chew my
tortilla
food. I don't
to
just swallow it
lining
down.
ratio.
I know you and Ben have kids, Danielle, but you also have to chew, remember.
Oh, no. Trust me. I just have strong feelings about how one should eat a burrito.
By using a spoon and scooping out the insides, right?
Oh dear God.
Ugh, barf.
No.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, no. You do that, you insult the person who cooked the burrito.
What's
Why?
wrong with you?
Are they personally invested in the tortilla, the worst part of the burrito?
Excuse you, sir. If you
What?
are choosing to go to garbage Taco Bell, then yes, that is the penance you pay for choosing that trash.
Any Mexican place I go to that has stuff in a tortilla.
Excuse me, sir. Tortillas are beautiful gifts from the Lord when done right.
They have no flavor. They're rice cakes.
Because you're buying American
They
flour
have more
tortillas
flavor.
that are trash.
I like corn tortillas. I do like corn tortillas.
I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. Ben just came upstairs, like waving his arms, like, "Why are you yelling? You're gonna put the kids back to sleep."
You literally
Listen,
told
somebody
Latina that
insulted the
tortillas
honor
are
of my
trash.
tortillas. Okay.
Until
Anyway,
I've had
I was gonna
tortillas that
say,
you personally made.
I thought you were sane, and then you insulted tortillas to a Latina. Are you trying to die?
oh my stars. Accurate. Accurate. I'm sorry, what, Ben?
I mean, that would be
Oh
like
no.
me declaring that mac and cheese is not a Thanksgiving food. If I say that, I am dead.
In front of your in-laws or your
Yes,
wife.
I'm dead meat.
Mhm. Yeah, they'd put you out on the side and go make some mac and cheese. They'd be like, who needs
They
him?
would.
Mac and cheese understands. Mac and cheese doesn't say dumb stuff.
But apparently I do.
I mean, you were giving the example of if you chose to say that.
I know. I entered
So.
marriage knowing that was a cultural thing, so I did not fall into that trap.
Man, imagine how I felt thinking I was Southern because I was from Texas, and then moving to Alabama and going to my first meat and three, where the vegetables that were my options were fried green tomatoes, mac and cheese.
Wait,
What
they
else is there?
labeled
Oh,
the mac and
fried
cheese.
okra. No, they label sides vegetables. That's what they're called at a
Oh.
meat and three. And I'm like, none of these are vegetables. And they're like, no, that's vegetables right there. I'm like, I am very.
Maybe I need to
It
move
was
there. Then I'll get all my
Probably is a
vegetables.
Oh my word. Yeah. No, Dex, you will become like the 300-pound man if you move to Alabama because they will just feed you until you can't move, essentially.
You know you're a
mean-
real meat and three when apple cobbler is listed as a vegetable.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yes.
mean, to be fair, most people consider tomatoes vegetables.
No, they were fried
Green
green
tomato.
tomatoes. They're fried green tomatoes, Ben.
Well, yeah.
That's a vegetable.
Oh, my stars, y'all.
Those are fruit.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna
technically, but
take this
everybody uses them
opportunity. I'm gonna take this opportunity to share this highly informative video by It's a Southern Thing, y'all.
Oh,
You know
watch it
what I'm
later.
talking about, don't you?
Yes.
Why
think I do.
Southerners love eating veggies. Yeah.
Pizza's a fruit.
as.
When his doctors tell him he has to eat more
The South
vegetables.
is weird.
Oh man. Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
still not used to it. I'm still not used to it, y'all.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah,
No.
you added in a y'all though. Good for you.
Like, that's the one thing they got right.
I mean, I've used y'all for years, actually.
Yeah.
But there's a long discussion behind why y'all is the only second person plural in the English
Mhm.
language.
There's a very solid grammatical argument in favor of it. I agree
Yep.
wholeheartedly.
I've used it for ages now.
Isn't
And
use
on
plural?
that note,
The New Yorker
It's
use?
well, yeah, but that's
I mean, I don't
But-
think they do.
Wrong, and I hate it, and you're not a good person if you use that.
You just used it.
Yuns.
Well, now that we've
Right.
offended absolutely everybody in the United States, and the GM is back, maybe we could just go to insulting fake
Hey, man,
spice
See,
people.
so we've insulted
Yeah.
insulted the Latinas with Dex's trash view of tortillas.
Yep.
We've insulted the African American culture by saying that mac and cheese is not a Thanksgiving food.
Only
what else have we
hypothetically.
insulted?
Only
Only
hypothetically.
Yeah, he did not actually say that. It was the
Yes.
example given.
He only said that
Yes.
someone could say that.
Well, I said it was the equivalent of telling Latinas that
Theoretically.
taco shells and tortillas are trash. Like,
That's true. You made a good point. Discord agrees that tomatoes are vegetables.
I like most
I
fruit
guess
and
I
I
sort
hate
of.
most vegetables. Tomatoes I hate, and tomatoes hate me the most because I'm very allergic to
Oh,
them.
Ethan, you know what happens if you search for fruit?
Discord gets it wrong.
No, you find tomato.
That's what I mean.
Oh
It
no.
says it's.
All right.
Sorry, we have gone off on a tangent, and we are so far afield now. I'm lost.
Okay,
Woo!
GM is twirling his lasso.
Uh,
All
hmm.
right.
Are you hurting
Been one
cats
of those
then?
days. Been one of those days, y'all. Oof.
Cosmic lasso, nice. Okay.
Juicy. So yes, back to the game.
So Nero is the rice cakes aren't quiet either. So Nero is fairly noisily
Oh
crunching
my
on
word.
rice cakes.
No, my word.
This is what we've come back to.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
I had to set the scene.
Yes.
It's like we have to get back to the important stuff, and then this is what we come back to.
So with the
Yeah.
backdrop of crunching rice cakes, what is
Yes.
the crew deciding to do? Are they retiring for the night? Or do they have
Yeah,
more shenanigans to get up to?
I guess seeing what quarters the rebels have for us.
All right. Yeah, that would lead you to your barracks quarters, which, as far as barracks go, are actually fairly incredible. A lot of the architecture has been fairly unobtrusive and uh, easily just forgotten, forgettable. Nothing just mind blowing, but as you get to your rooms and get to settle in for the night, you have more time to look over and just notice some of the little details that are very unusual and intriguing to those of you who've experienced lots of high tech stuff, but nothing quite like this. Um, the the walls, you've got windows. Uh, they set you up with some of the good ones, uh, looking out over the stunning view of the horizon, the now nighttime view of the stars. There's no light pollution up here, and
Wow.
your your beds are. I'm not going to go into exhaustive detail, but um,
I need token levels of bed detail, man.
Oh no.
Please no.
uh,
Are
no,
the
Did
don't.
sheets
Tolkien ever
crisp?
give big levels of bed detail, or was it just food
Okay,
detail?
I'm, I'm sure you did. We can investigate that later. But on the topic of the hidden base beds, uh, they are very high tech. They actually seem to be on little suspensor things, and you can put them at any angle and shape and position you want. Um,
Oh
and
no.
they come out of the come out of the walls facing the windows, and the washrooms uh, seem to have some kind of strange uh, extra extra hookups and things that and there's kind of a warming bed as well. Um, and just some things that you wouldn't be used to finding in just a room. And they didn't exactly give you the thorough tour of the place, but you can figure out all the basics that you need. And even though these are apparently barracks rooms, they feel like high class, high tech hotel rooms. Um, so before you know it, you're all comfortably freshened up, and uh, the rooms are well scented, and you're feeling yourselves relaxing and being prepared to doze off to a comfortable sleep. Best one you've probably had in a while. Depending on how much you like your very standard space beds.
Apparently, Sears is getting ready to kill someone.
Not getting ready to kill anyone. She just wants to take some time to look at her
Oh,
fancy knife.
right.
Oh, yep.
I have a
It's been
feeling
so
that
long since bird murder.
did we all get private rooms, or is it?
Yes, you each
Oh
got your
wow.
own. You each got your own room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yes,
they
sir.
got room to spare here.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely the impression you've gotten. Oh yeah. Saoirse twirling her psychic butterfly knife.
Well, to everyone's future displeasure, I think Nero flops down the bed and just conks out. She is going to be up so early.
Oh, shoot. All right. We don't have to role play it, but Ben Saoirse would want to spend at least in 30 minutes to an hour probably like trying to figure out more about this knife. So
Okay.
we can discuss it
Yeah.
more later.
We'll have a little behind the scenes about that another time. All right. So you all drift off sweetly into sleep, having pleasant dreams. And you wake up, in Nero's case, at a very ungodly hour, but the rest of you maybe
Is
get
it
a more
still
normal
dark
amount of sleep.
outside?
Yeah, probably. Sorry, I didn't realize that question was directed at me because, yes, yeah, it almost certainly is still dark outside when Nero wakes up.
All right. I guess she occupies herself with something energetic, as usual.
She's going to be trying to find the kitchen, see if there's any food available.
Well, at the time she arrives, it's not available, but there are people already working to get some things cooked up. One of the cooks notices her peeking in and gives her a stern look. Mm-mm.
Busted.
She'll go back to her room and probably take like the longest shower she's had in a long time. There, that'll take some time.
All right.
Good investment of time.
Yeah, that's
The rest of the crew
to
appreciates
be
it.
commended. Yes. Be worth a bonus XP if I were the type to give that out for good, for helpful
For good
role playing.
hygiene?
Yeah,
There you go.
for being a team player.
Every once in a while, I have to let everyone else relax.
Mhm. Yeah, well, sometime later, everyone has awakened and gone through their respective morning routines that we won't
Elaborate on.
probably elaborate anymore on, right? And can all meet up, maybe in the hallway outside their section of rooms, and be ready to take on the new day.
Mm,
I heard something from Avery.
food.
Yeah, so the group of you can head on towards the cafeteria and find breakfast being served, as well as a good bit more foot traffic than you'd had the previous day. A lot of people geared up, and a decent number of them actually carrying baggage.
Hmm.
And so you're all served some eggs and some greens, and can file into the cafeteria and eat with a considerable number more than you had seen uh, previous day at the latter half of the evening meal. And yeah, there's a bit of an energy in the air.
What kind of energy?
Energy.
Oh dear.
Energy, yeah. No, while you're eating, Caldwell actually appears at the end of your table and claps his hand down on the end of the table. Says, "Good morning, all of you. I've slept on your offer and recommendations, and I think I've decided I'll take you up on your suggestion. I've already had the men preparing for some deployments to various places. We don't need to go into that, but I think I'm ready to hear you out, see where you want to take me and my command to try to establish some sort of off-world Uralan presence. Maybe begin negotiating for some greater control of her own place." So he slides a chair over and looks at Saoirse and Brother Nick for sweeping his gaze over everyone else. So, what do you think?
Saoirse will just look at Brother Nick and take a deep drink from her coffee mug. She looks away. She just kind of bounces her eyebrows at him real quick before she looks away, like, "All right, showtime, go for it."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so uh it's do we want to dive into that role play wise or just have him so that he's elaborating the game plan?
I'm okay with whatever. Your party is staying conspicuously silent.
I'm
I'm up
okay
for
with.
either. I mean, this is an important part of the whole
Yeah, I'm
thing,
up for
you know?
anything. Same. Take it away.
And if any of us need to jump in, we will.
Take me home, country roads, Urala.
Ugh.
I'm not a fan of that
Saoirse's
song either, but
Saoirse's just gonna drink more coffee. I'm not awake enough for this.
Okay. So yeah, brother Nick would. Oh, no. Let me go to the roll 20 page. So I get distracted by the Discord.
Avert your eyes, Ethan. You're better than that.
yeah. Y'all were on me about
Just keep
like
telling yourself that.
ignoring it while I'm trying to roleplay. uh, it
So
can't happen.
yeah, it's a we were thinking of helping you get to the blockade out at the end of the sector. Uh, Before we came here, we talked to some of the Anagrians and Havarians on the other side of, or on their side of the, oh, what do you call it, the route.
Mhm. Yeah, over in
And
the Anagrin system.
yeah, in the Anagrian system, and they've been nervous about the Tabukan encroachment now that they found out about the another sector being adjoined to theirs. I think they'd make good potential allies for you in your fight for liberation.
He strokes his beard and nods at that. Hmm. So we fall on the mercy of Anagris. You know much about these people? We've had fairly limited contact with them. They seem to be a bit reluctant to, well, I guess get too involved before they knew what was going on.
Um, I don't know if we've actually picked where Brother Nick was from. We met on Anagris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's where he had
Um,
been last laid up looking for work.
and I guess that's where the monastery would have been. So I guess Brother Nick would have some more decent knowledge.
Okay.
So I guess he'd offer that. He'd say, "I've spent some time in or on Anagris, and we have the benefit now of some connections that Victor was working with the blockade, and I believe Boris spent some time on Anagris as well. It may be better inroads for you on helping to deal with the Anagrian government."
So let me go ahead and ask for my first skill check of the night.
Oh wow,
Uh,
that's
let
true.
me get either um, either a connect skill check, which would give him more of a sense of the Anagrian people, or perhaps an administer check to see what he knows about the Anagran government and what their stance or approach to this situation might be.
Oh, my go-to would be Connect. Could I use Intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Finally not stuck with my accidental dump stat of Charisma before I became the face.
Yeah. All right. Well, he did spend a considerable amount of time on Anagris, and he knows he's picked up a general feel for the people there that they are uh, not super interested in problems in the sector at large, as long as they can keep doing their own thing. There's
That's
there's a
fair.
very good reason the monastery was established there. The people, uh, in general, are there are given to what Brother Nick and the order would consider vice and just distraction and entertainment, and that you could see that going either way, either for or against their doing anything to help with Urala.
Okay. Yeah, nice. He'd relay that, saying, I think it would be an issue of framing. Anagris is more concerned, or the average Anagrian is more concerned with their own vices and the status quo, but I believe the current situation offers up a perfect illustration that the Tabukan imperialism upsets that status quo, and that liberating Urala would help reinstate it.
Mm. Yes, that is interesting. Hadn't gotten to know much about the people, but I suppose I'll have to take your word for it for now. Concerned that could also drive them to apathy. What of these others? You mentioned Harvario. Haven't had any contact with them.
Yeah, I think Brother Nick had more limited knowledge
They're war
of
hungry.
them.
He looks over to Narrow.
Nara looks like she's just seen a ghost. Looks back over at Nick. Other than Nick.
You say they're war hungry. Would they be interested in this kind of war, fighting against Tabuk?
She looks back over at Caldwell. Maybe she didn't just mess everything up. Maybe. I remember them as conquerors.
Hmm. Well,
Have gigantic machines.
sounds like you've been on the receiving end of their conquest.
That's why I don't want Urala to give up.
Hmm. Well, I appreciate that. I would certainly rather not. Also, don't want to trade the wolf for the lion, vice versa. Uh, but perhaps these Enagrians would have the wherewithal to help us in some small way. I don't think Tabuk wants to get into more of a extended conflict with more equal power than they have to. They certainly are stretching themselves thin, from what I hear. Hmm.
Yeah, Nero looks back over to Brother Nick. Didn't really want to be a part of this conversation anymore. She didn't want to be part of it when she blurted that out, but there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'd jump back in. He'd say, "I admit I don't have as much firsthand knowledge of the Havarians. Most of my knowledge of them is academic, but I do think they'd pose as formidable rivals against the Tabukans if properly steered through the right political maneuvering. But I think our plan is less engaging them militarily and more on asymmetrical means. And I think that will be a small enough investment of Anagras or Havario's part to make them more agreeable to it.
He nods in agreement with that. Yes, facing Tabuk in a straight up fight is foolishness. I don't know of anything that can go toe to toe with one of their battleships. I've never even heard of anything that could challenge them.
They're pretty easy once you get on them from the inside.
He raises an eyebrow at Saoirse,
Nero nods
and
vigorously.
I'll take it then that you've never tried boarding a Tabukan battleship.
Hard can it be?
He chuckles grimly. I ought to be young again. Hmm. Well, um, out of character here. Give me. I'm gonna need a talk check here, I think.
From who?
Well, I'm assuming you're going to put Brother Nick at the to continue spearheading this. I think the brunt of it is going to fall on him.
Not that he needs it, but could Nero roll an assist with peppering in bits of what she knows about the Havarian military? Mainly they've got freaking mechs.
Eloquent Santa strikes again.
Yeah, I
and
think she could.
and I don't know if you're gonna carry it forward, but do you remember what Fake Chris described as being like their space-faring Archon mech?
I did not recall an Archon mech.
It was he had some I don't know if I was paying enough attention or if it was just so out there and bizarre that I couldn't possibly remember it. But there was some kind
Mm.
of like statue of David mech.
Oh, that thing. Yeah. I remember those for sure. Um,
Okay.
Oh man, did he have some like mother mold space station flying around
I don't
shooting
so
down?
know. I can't remember if the statue of David mech was like, the supreme mech or if it was on par with battleships or I don't remember what.
I'll say
That'd be
this
really
much
cool.
because this is relevant. This is knowledge that Nero would at least have. Th- not much, but she would know. I'll say that the Statue of David mechs are canon. Um, or I should say mech singular. She saw one of those. That was being kind of clandestinely traded, sort of gun runner style to some other interplanetary conflict. So she didn't know much of anything about the mech's actual capability, but she just knew enough to know that it was
Farming it out to mercenaries.
right, and it was apparently done at a pretty penny.
I can imagine. Yeah. What would you like me to roll to try and assist him? If I may, recommend. Well, she's taken to Ahmed's piloting. Could she possibly use that as a comparison point for how the mechs play on the field?
Okay.
Or, I think I'm overlooking perhaps an obvious sneak with how much she was involved in the sabotaging.
Okay, that's fair.
I assume you want me to use intelligence and not dex.
Wisdom would be fine.
All right.
Okay. Well, between the two of them, it seems like Brother Nick's argument is drawing Caldwell in. And at the end of Brother Nick's spiel, he pulls himself up and says, "All right, you've convinced me. I will come with you, bring some small retinue of mine, but I know you don't have much room on your ship. And we'll see if we can't run this blockade. I'll need some time here to give orders for the foreseeable future. But
I have a question, Ben, out of character.
mm-hmm.
The cargo container that had been attached to our ship to begin with, had that been specially made for this ship, or would that be like a run-of-the-mill freight cargo?
It was as far as you could tell, it was a relatively
Like, I know
common.
the insides had been, like, kinda tricked out, but
Yes, it had been modified on the inside a good bit, but no, it definitely was. It made it fit a standard
right,
blueprint,
cargo
basically.
container. Yeah, so Saoirse's gonna pipe up and tell him, "We don't have a lot of room on the ship as it is, but the Tabukans chose that ship for the mission it was on because it attaches to a cargo container. If you happen to know where we might be able to get one of those out in the boondocks or something, we might be able to rig something up for you and your men so things are a little bit less on top of each other in the ship."
Well, I don't know. I don't think you want to pay Asensio a visit. Right now, that's where our spaceport is. I don't know
Why
of
not?
any other.
Saoirse
It would be
nudges
narrow.
her plate with her own, like nudging her plate closer to her.
Or he does a
Nero
double
goes
take
back
with
to eating.
Nero. Anyway, uh, where was I? Atencio,
Sorry,
yes.
she's a gas, really.
Um, of course she is. Asensio, that's capital city occupied by Tabuk. He says this kind of giving glances at Nero to make sure it's kind of sinking in. Um, uh, yes, the spaceport is occupied and thoroughly, I will add. And I was going to say, I don't know of any other place we might find a cargo container of your particular model. The most of the free traders had been docking in the more profitable place, so I'm afraid we'll have to make do with whatever accommodations you can find for us on your ship as is. But leave me to make arrangements. Uh, give me 3 hours. I'll have my retinue gathered, and we can take off. If there's anything else you need to take care of in the meantime, of course you can see Boris or handle it yourselves. And barring any response from the party, he makes his way off, striding with purpose.
Nero's done interrupting. Uh, she's dedicated to her plate now. She's finally gotten the hint that that wasn't just here's more food. That was a keep your mouth shut.
No, it was mostly a here's more food,
Okay.
but now she's like, oh dear, focus on your food, Nero. It's like you just made me think of, was it Gary Johnson who was being interviewed in 2016 when people were like, "Hey, maybe third party's the way to go." And they're like, "What's your view on Aleppo?" And he was like, "What's Aleppo?"
Yep.
And
The
everyone went,
the article is what makes it so much worse.
"The article?
That he said, "What's an Aleppo?"
Oh, what's
Oh.
an Aleppo?" That's right. Oh, that does make it so much worse, you're right.
Rip.
Oh, man.
Good old Gary Johnson. Um, all right, so seeing the time, I think that's a good stopping point for us tonight. Um, so if you would, it occurs to me that Avery wasn't in the loop on this, but just as a reminder, we have the out of character planning channel here on Discord that is where I've requested that if the players want to, I guess, have a better chance of their plans being accounted for and uh, things not being dealt with off the cuff, that they put whatever they're planning to do for the next session or so in there. Um, and I gave the soft deadline of like Saturday morning at 9, maybe. Um, so
He calls it a soft deadline, but he does hammer on us a lot. And hammers are not soft.
Right.
hey, mallets are rubbery.
They're still not soft.
Oh.
No, they're not. I remind, and I do tease a bit when at the frequency with which the group posts plans on Monday afternoon at 4:30.
Yeah,
I thought that's
we're
when you were
bad like
supposed to do
that.
it.
I mean, hey, that is one option. It's just you're just going to be relying on the improv of your GM and hoping that he hasn't decided on anything else for you in the meantime.
But see, that's just openly admitting that you're railroading us, Ben. You can't say that.
What? I did
You
no such
can't
thing.
say that.
I didn't say I was
Sandbox
railroading you at
where
all.
the edges just happen to be confined by two large iron rails. And here comes something
Chugga,
going
chugga,
down the
chugga.
tracks.
Oh, see, there are no
Secrets
rails
out.
on the borders. The sand stretches as far as the eye can see, and the sky and the stars above you are vast. Just don't look down below your feet. That's all.
Oh my.
Uh, no, I kid. Anyway, just wanted to plug that. Um, let's go ahead. I'll give you all another XP here, and which we had decided is doubled for Java's sake.
I
And
heard Java again.
Java.
Level
You
up.
might want to
Yeah.
get your hearing checked.
Oh boy. Okay. Before I get dragged down the rabbit hole and out of character chat. Favorites. Let's see, we actually got a bunch of stuff here. All right. Avery is going to be first this time.
Ooh. Um, I think my favorite was just bringing the prisoners back to Liz and knowing as a player, like, this is so sus.
Mhm.
But, like, thinking, what would Java do? And of course, Narrow's leaving, so he's like, okay, yeah, nothing suspicious about this. Um, yeah. I mean, I even tried to, like, create a situation where, like, maybe someone would ask questions, pointing out to Cersei that, like, yeah, they were gone quite a bit longer than us. I feel like something's up with the teleporting. you know, subtle hints have led me to believe that that might be the case, but
Yeah, I think maybe there was too much subtlety because I didn't get any of those hints. I'm sorry.
No comment.
Maybe I was just embodying Narrow too much.
All right. Let's see.
Thank you for gifting a sub to Artna. What the heck? Thank you so much.
I'll go ahead and go.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, maybe in the interest of fairness and all, I should allow myself to enter the rotation here.
Hmm.
Um, I had I had several enjoyable moments. Uh, and it's a little tough to pick the best, but I think Nero and Liz. Uh, I'm just gonna say all of that. I'm just not gonna get very specific because that was just so much fun. um, because I wasn't trying to confuse Narrow, but she kept being confused and not quite understanding what Liz was getting at. And Liz is just a very uh I don't know what word to use to describe her. Maybe sarcastic, but um maybe no nonsense. Um but there's more to it than that I can't. I'm not doing a great job of encapsulating in words, but
Maybe it was the word that confused Nero. Liz is nuanced.
ah,
That's the word that tripped her up.
that would do it. That would do it. Um, and so anyway, that's fun. I'm having fun with that dynamic. So I'll put that as my favorite and let somebody else continue. If mine didn't get taken, I might have a second one later. Who's next?
I know mine, so if nobody else wants to go. All
Bring
right.
it on.
So my fave was Cade having that heartfelt, deep moment with Ahmed, while we're all like that alone was great, but made even greater because we're all over there lobbying. No, we're keeping Ahmed.
When I tuned back into the chat and saw all that, I was like, okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking at chat. I was just focusing.
I just imagine like the whole group frantically trying to text Cade once they realize what he's off doing. Like, wait, no, don't tell him he has to leave.
Shut up now. Quit flathering about. Shut your mouth now.
Like, wait, Cade, we decided we wanted to keep him, and then he's got it on do not disturb because he's having a serious conversation. Something like that. But that was it's true. That was a good moment.
Can you even imagine that? Like, the only thing I can even compare that to would be like a manager trying to tell an employee why they're having to let them go, and then like the rest of the company's like desperately trying to text them. We're not firing him. Stop saying. Leave Mark alone. We're keeping him forever. Meanwhile, Mark's like, I guess I'll go pack my things. And he's just like, no, it's not official yet. You know, I just wanted to prep you.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know if I summarized that very well, but I'll leave it like that for the moment and go to somebody else.
I can speak.
Okay.
I'm torn because okay, so my favorite in character moment uh was for sure the Cade and Ahmed situation. Oh wait, oh man. Yeah, that was my favorite. I really did love hearing Nero and Java interact more. But my favorite goes to Cade. With Ahmed. But my favorite out of character moment of the night was the discussion on tortillas.
I knew it was coming.
And finding out that I can't trust Dex's taste in food. So
Oh, this is the source of the yelling.
yes,
Yes.
this is virtually yelling. Very
He dissed
passionate yelling.
tortillas. Straight out.
Oh boy, just blanket statement.
Blanket.
Oh boy.
No, I made an exception for corn tortillas.
You backpedaled to corn tortillas are okay.
Well, I don't really consider corn tortillas. We should probably stop right now.
The worst
Yeah,
of the tortillas.
just digging a hole.
Okay, hold on
My
a second.
stars. Listen,
Yeah.
we'll be able to listen to it in the playback. In fact, I'm hoping there's a clip. I'm hoping there's a highlight
Oh,
that you
you
post,
can make
Jen.
those clips if you like.
Oh
If
man, you'll
nobody
have to
does,
teach
I'm gonna
me
find
to
it
do it.
tomorrow and clip it.
I'm gonna start. I also
For my
love that Robert was immediately like, "Did you really just say that to a Latina? Like, did you you have no sense of self-preservation? What is wrong with you?" Oh
uh
my word, that quote is amazing, Ben. Yes, thank you for quoting that. He put in for those who can't see our Discord, Ben just quoted Dex. I don't really consider corn tortillas tortillas. Dexter inexplicably contradicting himself.
yeah.
Oh my word, Ethan.
So I would have to say, um, my favorite moment is kind of torn as well. I really enjoyed the transportation of the prisoners and how
Mhm.
everybody out of character is going, this is so sus. This can't go right. There's nothing, and Java is just kind of going along with it. Narrow's just kind of going along with it. Brother Nick's going along with it.
Yeah, when freaking
Every,
brother Nick did, I was like,
everybody's just kind of like, "Ooh, okay." And then
oh man.
so that was fun as players watching that in the meta going, oh, there's no way this is coming back to haunt us at all, cough cough. um
Yeah, right.
but I also enjoyed being able to show the softer side of Cade that's not always evident.
Yeah, yeah.
That was gratifying. And of course, out of character, the tortilla food and culture discussion. I'm so gonna clip that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some of that. See what I missed.
Now, to be fair, clips will only let you do like 90 seconds, so if you give me a timestamp, I will go in and make a full-length highlight out of the whole conversation. Because I'm pretty
Oh
sure it's
man.
longer than 90 seconds.
Yeah, it was probably a good 3-4 minutes.
Nice. All right, let's get Ethan here.
Okay, yeah, mine was also the Cade, and yeah, a nice heartfelt closure to our time with Ahmed, which immediately got undone.
Yeah.
And then
Which
also
immediately got undone.
the group renaming of Heather Tom, the Harriet
Oh
Thomas.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't forget that either.
What? What got renamed?
Henrietta Thomas, or Henrietta Thomas.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, now I understand, yeah.
Was it Henrietta or Harriet?
Harriet Thomas.
Okay, Harriet Thomas.
Yeah. Rip Janet.
Listen, no Janet's allowed here.
If we put that in quotes, then that becomes cool, right?
Oh dear.
Oh no, Ben doesn't have
Edited
rules and
Jennifer.
mechanics text channel here, so I can't add it and make it official.
Bold of you to assume I'd allow you to the privilege of editing such a channel if I had one.
That reminds me, I probably should go and change the permissions on my channel before you guys start making up rules and mechanics.
Yeah, just make our own little additions. What kind of ship do you think I'm running here? Well, believe that concludes our official session business for the evening. Oh boy. Allow me to conclude that with a yawn. Um, so at this point, if anybody needs to vamoose, they may. I don't know
There.
what I'm gonna do.
It's made an official rule. Tell by the reactions.
Oh,
Ah, whoa, Ethan, that's impressive.
my word.
It's not every day old KC himself pops on by. Hey, I mean, if you make a post on the subreddit and frame it just right, he might stop by to endorse it.
Immortalized.
Immortalized.
My word. Also, Saoirse is gonna ask Java before they leave if he has any coffee accoutrements he wants to bring with him,
Considering
since
Naturally.
this
heck,
since this place is going to be ditched soon.
Sims are packed.
Cool.
I looked over and saw Jen was offline and thought, but there are no Jans. Then read it again.
Mhm.
Again. Boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that session. You guys were quite a handful.
I really want to know
Yeah,
what's
that
up with
I mean, we
the.
didn't really do much for people who were a handful. I mean, we didn't have a skill check until like 2.5 hours into the game.
In 2 hours now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, but for so many games, it's all skill checks all the time and very little role play. So I kind of feel like having a session where it's defined by like a handful of roles, like ones like this, I kind of feel like that's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely tried to take a more roleplay oriented approach. There are situations where, okay, you're doing something that's clearly related to some kind of skill that you have a chance of messing up, but like I've tried, especially with social situations, not to just pepper you with talk here and notice there and connect there, um, because that can get to be a lot. Plus, Nick blows them all out of the water anyway. So,
Oh no.
Right.
oh, what is this new slander? Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually amazing.
Wow.
I didn't even know it was a thing. You could hire dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
I mean,
Like,
It's impressive.
it is.
that's like a 6-year-old's birthday party, maybe.
Yeah, there's some like discount Chuck E. Cheese rec center here. Out comes the Velociraptor.
Oh no.
I
This
like
is
that that's
reminding
the
me all
person in
too
it.
much. This is
The
reminding
biggest
me all too much of the Goblin birthday party, Ethan.
Oh,
the goblin birthday party. Oh dear.
Oh no.
It's a
Would you guys like to
D&D
tell that
story for
story?
another time.
Oh, this is a
Yeah.
Oh,
great time for that.
we are still streaming. I want to ask real quick, Avery.
Right.
There was something that you wanted to say, but kind of like you kind of got well, run over to put it politely.
Bulldoze over. Yeah.
I was gonna say
Sorry.
basically something to the effect of like, I really want to know what's up with the whole teleporting thing, and
Mhm.
I really wished that we would maybe investigate that. But maybe we'll get the opportunity. I guess we do have to, leave, and that does require another teleport. Um,
Oh, that did remind me, and I guess this is good planning for next time. I wanted to ask if we should salvage any pretext stuff from their base, or if this is some Church of Vithox thing, and they're gonna be like, "No, you can't tear apart our super special
I don't
teleporter."
think they're abandoning it permanently.
Well, but it was here before they got here,
Yeah, they
and
might.
other
Yeah,
people.
that'd been my best guess that it was some holy site or Church of Vithox hidey hole, and so they wouldn't be cool with us being like, "Hey, can we strip this place down for cool pretech components?"
Yeah, they just might not be cool with that.
Yeah, write down those questions. Put that in out of character planning. You can ask somebody
Oh my
next time.
stars!
Wow.
It
I'm sure
turns
that'll
out
go
that
fine.
the most
Can
important
we just skip
component
that part? That'd be
of
great,
the
thanks.
teleporting elevator is a wind cutter.
Oh my word!
We crack the thing open and it's just like a battery holder, but instead of a battery, it's just a wind cutter.
Well, they didn't
Oh
need this
my
elevator
word!
anyways. Doink.
Yeah,
Alright.
Nero would happily find some alternative way off the mountain if it meant she got the sword out.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here.
All
Good
right.
night, y'all.
Peace.